Greetings everyone, this is Ishan here calling from Okemo, and we are going to do more team building analysis. Last time we did a Mega Sceptile team for the VGC 2015 format, and today we're actually doing a Mega Swampert Mega Manectric team. I actually should correct myself from last time. There are 14 teams. I mentioned 14, but there are 14 teams. There are actually 15 Megas I'm using because Mega Manectric and Mega Swampert are in the same team, and this is the only team I have that has two Megas. Having two Megas is an advantage in some ways because it can kind of give pressure to the opponent, thinking which Mega are they going to use, if there even is two Megas on that team. The only issue with having two Megas on one team is that you're limited to using 4 other regular Pokemon. So we're going to start right here, and Mega Swampert and Mega Manectric. The reason why I use these two is that you can see right away my team is built around rain, and Mega Swampert really thrives in the rain, whereas Manectric has the option to use Thunder if you wanted to give him Thunder. Otherwise, he also carries Intimidate and carries Volt Switch and can deal well against opposing water types. Mega Swampert and Mega Manectric also have some decent way of covering each other's problems. Normally if I see a ground type or other electric types on the opponent's side, I'll probably bring out a Mega Swampert instead. However, if I see more Intimidate Pokemon on the other side, or maybe grass types in general, Mega Swampert's not really considered. I usually go for Mega Manectric. The good thing about Mega Manectric is that he doesn't need the rain. He can go straight to his ridiculously high speed and just do whatever he can. Whereas Swampert needs that setup, but probably dishes out more damage because of it. So with Mega Swampert, we're going to start with him. His ability to start off with his Torrent. You don't really need Damp. Very rarely will I ever see a Pokemon with Self-Destruct or Explosion. But I think the only Pokemon I can think of is honestly Landorus right now. I can't really think of other Pokemon because I don't really see Pokemon like Weezing or I guess Electrode, if Electrode even runs Explosion viably anyways, but yeah. For his EV spread, I maxed out his attack. His attack is one of the best out of all the Megas, and pair that with the Swift Swim ability, what Mega Swampert gets, you don't necessarily need to have much speed investment. You can go as low as maybe 4 EVs onto it, and he outspeeds plenty of other Pokemon. However, if you want to get the most out of it, you could go for max speed as well, but at the end of the day, Adamant Nature is probably the best choice. I went for a little bit of split. I gave some speed onto Mega Swampert. It's kind of a decent way of, I guess, outspeeding Superior. And there's also, well, you're going to be outspeeding not Mega Venus, but regular Venusaur because of Chlorophyll. And I figured the physical defense is probably better against Pokemon that carry Fake Out fighting types. It's kind of what my team needs more, is a way of dealing with fighting types. As of right now, I only have one way of dealing with it. So we have Protect, we have Ice Punch. Ice Punch is for coverage against grass types, Earthquake for his stab option, and Waterfall for his other stab option. I don't think... Okay, he does get Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail is a very forgettable move, but some people run it. It has higher power, but it has 10 less accuracy. I usually stick with Waterfall anyways, just because it has that second effect of flinching the opponent. Aqua Tail doesn't have anything like that. Ice Punch is more reliable as far as his coverage goes. Some people... a Rock Slide is also a pretty decent way of dealing with opposing maybe Charizard Y. Certain flying types in general can't really... that are not super effective for Ice Punch. It's a good way of playing it. You can also run Mega Swampert Mix. I suppose you can do like a Naughty Nature, Hasty, or Naughty Nature or Lonely Nature, whichever, and you can give him a special counterpart to one of these 3 attacks. You can give him Ice Beam over Ice Punch, Earth Power over Earthquake, or Scald or Hydro Pump over Waterfall. That way you don't have to worry about Intimidator burns, because right now, aside from grass types, that's really, as a pure physical attacker, that's what Mega Swampert's only issue is, having to worry about those attack drops. Otherwise, Waterfall is probably his strongest option, because when paired up in the rain, it deals more damage than Earthquake. On top of it, running in double battles is a single target attack. But yeah, as far as dealing with grass types go, my way of dealing with that is Talonflame. The Talonflame gets Quick Guard. I usually use that for any Pokemon that carry Fake Out, because even though I have Ludicolo on my side, and Ludicolo normally learns Fake Out, sometimes I won't even bring out Politoed to support Ludicolo. Instead, Quick Guard is nice for opposing Fake Out Pokemon. Or, yeah, Quick Guard for Fake Out Pokemon. And Life Orb, I generally run Talonflame with that Life Orb, because its attack is very low, despite the fact that it has 2 of the strongest stab moves right here. But the max attack at max speed with an Adamant Nature is generally what I go for, and I think me and myself and any other trainer would run Gale Wings over Flame Body on Talonflame. It's one of the 2 Pokemon on my team that carry a fire attack on itself, so I have to be wary about when I'm actually ready to bring out the rain, because I don't want its fire attacks to be weakened. Luckily, Brave Bird is really reliable on Talonflame, so I don't have to worry about it. And again, my whole team is rather speedy, with the exception of Politoed, so it's a good thing for me to have to deal with, I guess, opposing rain teams. If I see another Mega Swampert on the team, a Sun team with Venusaur, anything like that. Tailwind again. I can use Tailwind to maybe give advantage of extra speed for any of my Pokemon that don't carry Swift Swim. Also, just if I'm not bringing in Politoed, then Tailwind's going to help out Bisharp, Ludicolo, and Swampert without the need of Swift Swim in general. Flare Blitz is its Fire Stab, and Brave Bird is pretty much a standard Fire Stab. I used to run Overheat on Talonflame as a mixed attacker, but I'm kind of lacking with its pure attack. And mixed Talonflame is good. There's no way of really running a special Talonflame. I think mixed is probably better because it doesn't learn Hurricane or anything like that. But Overheat over Flare Blitz can be nice when Talonflame doesn't have to worry about Intimidate as well. I've already mentioned though that Intimidate is kind of its only problem with these 2 Pokemon, which is why I have Bisharp. I don't need Milotic if I'm having in Politoed. 2 pure water types is kind of a not really needed thing. For Bisharp would be another way of countering those Intimidate Pokemon with Mega Salamence, or just regular Salamence, Gyarados. Very rarely will I see Gyarados on this team, but Manectric could deal with it. But yeah, Bisharp with the Focus Sash. I generally give it a Focus Sash because of how, despite its being a Steel type, despite its defense being good, I max out its speed instead and max out its attack. It allows it to survive any straight up fighting move from a fighting type. Conkeldurr, Scrafty, Breloom. If Breloom's not going to use Spore, he's probably going to use Mach Punch to straight away defeat Bisharp. Though at the same time, Breloom is still kind of a counter to Bisharp, which is why I would have Talonflame anyways. But the max speed is nice. It could outspeed certain Rotoms because more Rotoms can be bulkier. So yeah, we have Protect right here, as per usual for any Pokemon. Iron Head is a great way for him to deal with Fairy types, and I would say Tyranitar in general. A lot of this team can deal with Tyranitar, so Tyranitar's not very threatening Pokemon to this team. We have Sucker Punch for its priority, which is generally what most people run on Bisharp anyway. A lot of people also run Knockoff on Bisharp. I would like to do it. It's a decent attack over Night Slash. I mean, Knockoff can deal significant damage for that one hit, but Pursuit actually it punishes any Pokemon on the opposing side that is about to switch out. But Pursuit doubling up its power when the opponent switches out. will do as much as Sucker Punch, and actually sometimes finishes off a Pokemon, one-hit KOs them if they're, generally weak to a Dark attack, or does decent chip damage as well. The only problem with Pursuit is that it's the only reliable Dark attack I have on this, because Sucker Punch, it's not going to hit everything if it's going for a status move, and Pursuit is a very weak move if the opponent doesn't have to switch out. So Pursuit is kind of situational in that regard, but I like running it because it actually makes Bisharp into a better lead than it once was. So, and that's about it. I never really see Bisharp running with Inner Focus or Pressure. Though Inner Focus would be interesting on Bisharp. It could throw people off especially, but I guess when paired up with Milotic, yeah, it'll definitely throw him off. And now we have Politoed, probably the most required ally to have for Mega Swampert, because he carries that Drizzle, summoning the rain instantly as he switches in. Politoed with his Drizzle ability conquered up the VGC 2012-2013. Rain in general was the main mechanic that helped win through VGC 2010 because of Kyogre's Drizzle. But yeah, if you're running Politoed, you most likely will be running the Drizzle ability. This Politoed, I sometimes run Politoed with two different ways. That's a bulky Politoed, which is what this is, and then a Scarf Politoed being more offensive. But bulky Politoed is what I'd rather have, because I have a lot of hyper offensive style Pokemon. I needed someone who can actually do some support moves. So for Politoed, having the Citrus Berry lets it stay in a little bit longer. Other options you can also do is, well, Leftovers is very standard. No one in my team has Leftovers as of right now, but Citrus Berry seems like a better option in my opinion. You can also do a Damp Rock in case you want to bring in the rain for a little bit longer, or you can do Eject Button if Politoed actually gets faked out, hits by a early priority move. It will be forced to switch out and then bring in the rain in case it needs to come back in. Eject Button is actually a very underrated move because of, or an underrated item because of it. Great for weather starters. So his EV spread also rather bulky. I'd rather go for a Calm Nature over a Bold Nature, just because more electric attacks and grass attacks are special based. He can definitely tank in more hits from those. Plus he carries Scald with him. He could probably help out with his defense with not just Scald but also Mega Manectric's ability. And then that's pretty much it for his EV spread. He doesn't really need so much speed, especially with the fact that he gets Helping Hand. That having ridiculously high priority can boost up a lot of my allies' attacks. Most of the time Helping Hand increases criticals. I'm not sure if that was true or not, but every time I've used Helping Hand, there was a really high chance that my ally would actually deal a critical hit. Icy Wind, I used to run Ice Beam on Politoed, but then I was thinking that even if I could be running Politoed with the team of Bisharp, Talonflame, Manectric, not with Ludicolo or Mega Swampert, so Swift Swim wouldn't be necessary. And to be fair, Icy wouldn't be necessary if I have Tailwind right here, but there would be pretty much two ways for me to deal speed control in this case. Tailwind is not crazy reliable in my opinion, especially on Talonflame. Despite it having Gale Wings, it's just a very frail Pokemon, whereas Politoed has Icy Wind and it can actually chip down the opponent's health. Paired up with Ludicolo's Fake Out, they actually have great, they're actually a very good lead for this one. But yeah, I generally go for Icy Wind. The only issue is, I guess, Bisharp, Milotic, anyone who has the Defiant competitive, or I would say the, what was it, Contrary ability. So that's kind of its only problem. And of course Scald, having a way to deal significant damage inside the rain and having that burn. It's the most reliable water attack next to Waterfall because of its high chance of burning. Yeah, it needs any sort of very weak, I would say, for Politoed, but it's still good as a support Pokemon. And then next up we have Ludicolo. not only is Ludicolo one of the better Swift Swim Pokemon, next to Swampert, Kingdra, even Beartic I would say, but Ludicolo having a really good typing, Water Grass makes it only weak to 3 things, and it doesn't really have to worry about those 3 things all the time. It mainly has to worry about Talonflame, I would say. But Ludicolo also carries Fake Out. His move pool is rather large. Even then he can also run with Focus Blast or Hyper Voice. That's an interesting one I see sometimes. But the Swift Swim on him is good. The speed, I was actually thinking about it. Maybe I would go for max speed over less defense. The more added defense was used to help him maybe tank in a U-turn from certain Pokemon, Landers specifically. Ludicolo's main problem is not just Talonflame, but also being paralyzed. Thundurus is generally a issue, because Thundurus will have Thunder Wave and chip down the Swift Swim. It's just going to make Ludicolo useless in terms of defense. Though Assault Vest, with the access of Fake Out and then 3 other attacks, Assault Vest is very nice for his special defense, because his special defense is rather large. At least for what his typing is, it actually works out very well for him. Ice Beam is for coverage against flying types. Energy Ball is his stronger grass option. I used to run him with Giga Drain, especially for a bulky grass type. Giga Drain could be fine, I would say. Sometimes a Lumberry on Ludicolo or a Life Orb on Ludicolo can also be nice over Assault Vest, in which case, you can give him Protect over Ice Beam or Fake Out, whichever. Grass Knot used to be really viable on Ludicolo, specifically for VGC 2016, but I don't think it's necessary now. Maybe it's a better way of dealing damage against bulkier water types and Tyranitar, but I figured Energy Ball is a much more reliable move for him. And then finally, Scald is his last option. Can't really think of any other water attack to give him. I don't think Hydro Pump is necessary for him. But Ludicolo, I would say, not just as a decent Fake Out Pokemon, like, you don't necessarily need Swift Swim or the Rain to make Ludicolo the best. Like I said, you can also have that Tailwind to boost up the team's speed without needing Swift Swim at the same time. So yeah. And then finally, Mega Manectric, the second Mega, in case I'm not really too interested in using Mega Swampert. Mega Manectric, and the good thing about regular Manectric, I would say, is that he starts off with the Lightning Rod ability. That is a great support move, considering that 2 of my Pokemon here are weak to Electric. Ludicolo especially is very vulnerable to Thunder Wave. So if I just rather switch in Mega Manectric, or yeah, if I switch in regular Manectric, he's going to draw in that electric attack and boost up his special attack, which is why he doesn't need the boost or the Modest Nature. I'd say the Timid Nature is better because it allows him to outspeed Mega Gengar, Mega Lopunny. I think it outspeeds Mega Lopunny. I think Mega Lopunny probably has the same speed, if I remember correctly, but Mega Salamence, Mega Gengar is kind of the big thing. Volt Switch especially is what I run on Mega Manectric because of Mega Gengar. Mega Gengar sometimes runs with the Perish Trap team, and Volt Switch is a way of him surviving and coming back for a later point in the battle. That way he doesn't have to fall to Perish Song. Hidden Power Ice, I see some people run it. It's decent against Garchomp. I figured it wasn't necessary though. With Thunderbolts, with an electric attack and a fire attack, yeah, he's not going to do much against dragon types. But I have plenty of Pokemon in my team that can deal with dragon types and ground types as it is. So that's why I didn't really need Hidden Power Ice. If you have plenty of coverage on your team, you don't really need any more than that. Other options over Volt Switch, I could also see people run Light Screen over him, considering he also gets Intimidate. Intimidate on Mega Manectric is great just for his speed, and the fact that he gets Volt Switch allows him to pivot in and out, bringing in Intimidate and just making his defense better. If you give him Light Screen, that would be a good way of pairing up his physical defense with his special defense. It doesn't need to be Light Screen. I believe he also gets Snarl, as Snarl is a decent way of doing chip damage as well as making him bulkier than what he's already getting from Intimidate. Flamethrower is for coverage against grass types, and Thunderbolt is his main stab option. Discharge could be decent if you want that speed control. I would say Thunder Wave is also good if you want speed control. Actually, yeah, that's actually a decent way of putting Thunder Wave over Volt Switch, because you can actually have extra speed control next to Icy Wind and Tailwind. But generally the two things I would run on him. Again, Talonflame and Manectric, the only two Pokemon on my team that carry Flamethrower or a Fire Attack. And I wanted to give them a Fire Attack because mainly because of Ferrothorn. I think lacking Fire Attack would make Ferrothorn nearly impossible to finish, and I don't think a fighting type would be super viable for me to take down Ferrothorn. But that's about it. If it wasn't for the fact that I have two fire types, Ferrothorn would be the biggest issue with this team. Opposing weather is kind of a problem at times, specifically with, I would say, more Charizard Y than Tyranitar, because Charizard Y gets access to a lot more options and also has Venusaur, Victory Bell, who carry Sludge Bomb and could deal significant damage to Ludicolo, grass attacks against Politoed, Swampert, and then I would say Excadrill and Tyranitar is a bigger threat to Mega Manectric than to Swampert. So that's where like the switch-ins become clear. Like, if I see Mega Charizard Y, I most likely won't bring in Swampert, but if I see Tyranitar or Excadrill, I most likely won't bring in Mega Manectric because he's weak to ground types. Despite the fact that he does get Intimidate, I know Intimidate could be very nice against them, but that's how I feel about that. And generally, when winning Weather Wars back in 2015, 2013, 2010, the best way of dealing with opposing weather is to keep your weather setter out last. Bring him in as a lead, save him for later, and make sure you bring him as the last option. That way they can shut down the opposing weather. And it's a good thing weather no longer is permanent than it was back in Gen 5, because weather generally took control of the whole game. And considering now that it only lasts for 5 turns, it doesn't always take over the whole game. So that's it for this team. It's the only team, like I said, that has 2 Megas on one team. And I'm going to try, once again, finding some battles and testing this team out. Okay, so we have Mega Salamence, Mamoswine, Cresselia, Bisharp, Heatran, and Conkeldurr. This could actually be Trick Room if that Salamence wasn't there. It most likely could still be Trick Room, and that Mamoswine either might be Scarfed, Banned, or Assault Vested. That's really the only way I see some Mamoswines. I guess Focus Sash is also decent. In terms of what Mega I rather run, probably Swampert. Intimidate's going to make some issues against the opposing Bisharp. Mamoswine is there as well. He doesn't have Fake Out, but that Mega Salamence does hurt Ludicolo. Talonflame is nice against Conkeldurr, maybe against Mamoswine. I would say both Bisharp and Talonflame could be decent leads, but then again, I also kind of want I'm gonna save Ludicolo. I'm gonna keep Ludicolo in, bring out Politoed, and bring out Swampert. Okay, so no, unfortunately, no no Salamence, so I can't get that boost. I'd rather fake out Cresselia. Cresselia most likely might have Trick Room. I do get the flinch from Iron Head. Iron Head and Rock Slide are generally decent ways of dealing with flinches. If it happens, it happens. I generally don't get mad when stuff flinches, or when 30% chance of something happens, because it happens. I'm gonna use Protect here, and I think I rather target or finish off Conkeldurr, because Conkeldurr is kind of a problem. Though I probably should have went with oh no, I probably should have went with Energy Ball. Would have done more damage. I don't want that Scald to happen, or the burn to happen actually. Oh, actually outsped my Pokemon. Okay. We got Sucker Punch against him, finish off Conkeldurr in the rain, and get the burn on Bisharp. Okay, Cresselia is still kind of a problem. It's kind of difficult to actually take down Cresselia here. I'm gonna go for Ice Punch. Ice Punch. He could have Heatran behind him. I wouldn't know why though. I guess that's true. I'm gonna go for Ice Punch in case he has a Salamence on his side. And then I guess I'll go for Scald. He has Icy Wind. I get burn on Cresselia. There's Salamence. Hmm. 136. Okay, my Swampert's definitely not up to speed here. Actually, if okay, I should be able to get this now. It's gonna go for Icy Wind. Politoed dodges again. That was the surprising thing. Now is this Cresselia Citrus? Oh no, Conkeldurr was Citrus. Okay. Okay, the opponent forfeits. That's actually my first win. So that's cool. Okay, we got our second team here. And unfortunately, Manectric is not going to get another run at this one, because let me see, 4 of his Pokemon are ground types, and this is also a sand team. You have Sandstream on Tyranitar, Sand Force if this is actually a Mega Steelix, it most likely is, or it could also be Mega Garchomp, Sand Rush on Stoutland, and Sandstream on Hippowdon. I think this is the first time I've ever seen a Hippowdon in a double battle. I'm going to lead off with Ludicolo, and I am going to bring out... None of his Pokemon have Intimidate. That Stoutland most likely won't be Intimidate. No grass types. Swampert, oh yeah, definitely Swampert is the better option. Talonflame isn't. I would say bring out Ludicolo, bring out Bisharp. Actually, I think I'd rather bring out, yeah. Okay, actually Hippowdon's gonna set up the sand first. The good thing about Swampert is that he doesn't have to worry about sand. He's not taking damage from it. Stoutland does learn Wild Charge if I remember correctly. He could have it. I don't know. I'm gonna actually go for the Icy Wind, so I can outspeed the Stoutland in the next turn. I'm actually curious on the Mega, because both Garchomp and okay, he's going for Return. Does really massive damage. Super effective on Hippowdon, and chipping down the speed on Stoutland is also good. Oh, he has a White Herb. Really? That's odd. Does he have like superpower? Does Stoutland get superpower? Also, Hippowdon just used Stealth Rock. I haven't seen Stealth Rock in doubles in a long time either. Which is unfortunate because it's breaking Bisharp's Focus Sash. Oh, wow. Well, very nice damage, I guess. Also, oh, I guess that's a problem with Hippowdon, is that he's going to be running purely with Earthquake because he's a pure ground type, whereas Garchomp can, you know, have access to a dragon attack and a ground attack. I should switch out. I'm not thinking about this. I want to keep Politoed in so I can keep in I don't know why I went for Ice Punch, actually. Oh, well, still finishes him off, actually, so that's good. But he has Tyranitar. But I also... Okay, I was about to say it's kind of a problem for me to... Okay, so he's probably gonna use Earthquake. I missed. Oh! The Sand Veil ability. It's really interesting. Most likely... Oh no, this actually might be Mega Tyranitar. If it's Mega Tyranitar, that actually that's gonna throw me off a lot. He went for Protect the last turn. I should probably just go for Helping Hand and Energy Ball. Okay, Scald would be nice in the rain, but that could be Mega Tyranitar. It's going to bring up the Sandstorm, so Energy Ball would be better. Let's find out. He didn't Mega Evolve his Garchomp. I mean, it probably would have been... It had to have been Mega Steelix. Mega Tyranitar would be smart, though. Because I wouldn't have expected it. And I also don't really think Fake Out's going to be completely necessary here. No Mega Tyranitar. I think I got this. I think. Oh boy. Is this Sash? Oh my god. How did he survive? How did he survive? That's insane. Huh. That wasn't even a Sash. 93.8. It's 95. That had to have been special defense invested then. I've never seen Garchomp survive in Ice Beam that wasn't from a Yashi Berry or a Focus Sash. Okay, well, I'm going to do one more batch right now. Okay, luckily, no Intimidate. Not Intimidate. No opposing weather. We have Thunderous, but we also don't have any grass types. So I'm kind of thinking that Swampert, yet again, is a better option. Because we have Landorus and we have Heatran. Although, I can definitely absorb Manectric with Thunder Wave. Ludicolo outspeeds Kangaskhan's Fake Out. Oh, here's something to consider. That Licky Licky most likely has Cloud 9. Which is going to throw off my entire battle here. I am going to bring out Talonflame first. I'm going to bring out Ludicolo. I'm going to bring out Manectric. And Bisharp. This is the weirdest team I've seen for a bit. I'm going to go for Tailwind and Fake Out on... Actually, I'm going to go for Quick Guard and then Fake Out. And then... I am sending up Tailwind. Power Up Punch on Kangaskhan. Nice. Very nice. Volt Switch is the interesting one. Okay, so he's bringing out Landorus on this side. I have Intimidate, but I most likely won't survive. Very nice. Is that Scarf? No, it's not Scarf. Huh. Ooh, very little damage, luckily. Unfortunately... Okay, I'm going to save Ludicolo in last in case Heatran comes in. I'm going to actually use Pursuit on Landorus in case he wants to switch in. He most likely would want to switch in. Either to Gengar, to Will-O-Wisp, to Taunt, whatever, any shenanigans that he has, or to Heatran for Earth Power, or Heat Wave. I'm gonna quickly... Yeah, I'll go for a Thunderbolt. Ooh, he's going for Swagger. But, I luckily pull through it. He does not actually go for... He actually doesn't go for the, move. I think, never mind, I'm being silly here. This is actually Scarf Landorus. I just completely forgot that he had... that I had Tailwind up. There's a critical hit on Bisharp, okay. There's a lot of damage. And he's going for Gengar. Now try it. Pursuit once again. Yep, there we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. We got Sludge Bomb. Does crazy amounts of damage. I get the burn. And Gengar goes down. Okay. I might be able to get this. If I go for a Sucker Punch. Thundurus doesn't have anything that is double targeting. I should be able to get this. I'll go for Ice Beam. And I should also... Oh, okay. I should also ignore opponents for this channel. It's nice to talk to some people, but then there are some people who get angry. But that's it. Gotta be honest, this team did much better than my Mega Sceptile team. I enjoy using this team because I find rain to be the most enjoyable weather set. Because you could still play around with it. You know, Talonflame, Mega Manectric both having fire moves. It actually works very well. As long as you play around with it easily. Bisharp having to counter Intimidate with when Talonflame and Swampert are there. Swampert and Mega Manectric, really great synergy there. Like, without having to use both of them at the same time, they actually work pretty well depending on what my opponent has. You know, Thundurus definitely not being much of a threat when Swampert and Manectric are both put into this battle. So thank you all for watching. Next time, I'll be doing a team analysis on Mega Sableye. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all whenever. Take care.